Welcome back again to the Lo-Fi Zone. Thanks so much for dropping by. It's lovely to have you join us here in Storm in a Teacup Studios for episode 3. We have the quiet oracle at the back there, Dave the drummer. I wrestled him from his armchair, and he's here in the zone with us. And lo, in his nook yonder, we have the great Tom Holden, your friend and mine. And I must also, I suppose, actually at this point acknowledge, Tom, your look keeps on changing. I feel I need at this point to just manage the expectations of the beings out there, because I don't think that Tom's look is going to change every single time.
It might a bit, but I'm starting to run out of things to cut off. So.
Yeah, it's true.
Fingers next.
Yeah, that's right. And no, please. I mean, I don't think the beings out there are so desperate for your look to change.
Thirsty for blood.
In case they were, I just need them to know that you're not Madonna or something, because like sort of changing look every time you see the person.
Lady Gaga.
Exactly. As far as I know, you're not Madonna or Lady Gaga.
To be fair, we've never been seen in the same room at the same time.
And it's never come up in conversation that whether you're either of those pop princesses. And because they're shape-shifting as well, because they always change their looks, would you know if you were Lady Gaga or Madonna?
That's a good question.
I think, in fact, I should play the mystery chord when I ask that. Yeah.
It's the Lo-Fi Zone.
The Brexit Blues. Why not Europe? Why couldn't we stay? We were pretty well blessed. We weren't being oppressed. What we had was rare. Could we really not share? Oh, England, I can't bear how small we've made you look out there. And the lying lot whose rotten plot got us here today, they must just love it all, how they're above it all, and they're never gonna pay. England, what have we done? We had 27 friends, now we've got none. And if they say once more how they made Britain great once more, I'm just gonna be sick, 'cause it's a heartless trick. And back in 1945, we never would have let Johnson wave his stick. That war that got my granddad shot in 43 was surely meant to mean, from the likes of Boris, we'd be free. Sweet land of my birth, I never owned you, I can't claim your turf. I'm just a lucky white swine that gets to act like you're mine. While the migrants break their backs, I get to gloat, I've paid my tax, and say the laws are a bit too lax, 'cause I read it in my tabloid of made up facts. But England, we both know, my birthright's just dumb luck. racist idiot. And that swinging 60s generation I hold so dear. Those are my heroes, how could they have voted us here? It's like they've had their good vibrations now and they're shouting, get off of my cloud. But they've left us all in a Lonely Hearts Club band, and I hope they're proud. Such a mess. We've broken hearts and we've choked the arts and we've gambled the NHS. And the workers' rights aren't secure, and who knows if the bands can tour. And as we proudly slam the door, no other country stand in awe, 'cause our cause wasn't grand or pure. No one took back control, at least no one poor. Oh, but England, now it's done, we must muddle through. And through the mist, I still insist, I can just see you. Dear precious stone, set in your silver sea, so cracked, so fraud. Someday we can all be friends again, but at least it's a lovely thought. Funny old month, though, hasn't it? Have you noticed that, Tom? I mean, I don't know if that's sort of permeated to your world. Perhaps. I mean, I know you're often residing in Middle Earth still, but I mean, I imagine with the haircut, you're sort of more nimble and can move around easier and sort of spot the funniness and the oldness of the month. But has that registered at all?
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, actually, without the long fronds,
yeah.
Is that a word?
Let's say it is. Yeah.
Fronds.
Yeah, exactly.
Without the long fronds,
yeah.
I actually have slightly less ability to catch a glimmer of the state of the.
Oh, I
the
see.
month.
So you've been quite sort of cut off, have you?
So I haven't been able to notice, but.
I can fill you in if you would wish me to, but sorry, I don't.
But I have come to kind of rely on your appraisals.
Okay. Because I have written a few words, and so I'm so glad I have now. Because what I think it is, it's when there's more than one thing going on at the same time. Okay, so simultaneous. It's okay. You'll get it. There's a thing. Okay, let's imagine that the thing is this book. Yeah. Okay, so keep your mind on that book. Yeah, and then my finger is like touching it right now, but I'm just going to go over here. Okay, and that's another thing. But these two things are coexisting. So that's more than one thing going on in the world at the same time. That's what I think. You'll get there. But that's what I think's been happening this month. Yeah, there's many things colliding. So, for instance, I've become something of a kind of amateur chronologist in recent years, as you probably know. And I don't know if this particular relevance has occurred to you, but this very week, in fact, is the 50th anniversary of 50 years ago. Did you realise that?
50. It's been that long.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it just sneaks up on you. But something that happened 50 years ago to this week was the Apollo 14 moon landing. And, of course, the most relevant thing about that Apollo 14 landing a chap played golf on the moon, of all
Yeah.
things. Now, of course, it's so passé playing golf on the moon. I mean, it's hard to imagine someone had to actually come up with that, but it
It's
took
amazing
someone to
there was-
actually...
It's amazing there was a first time.
That's
that
right, and
happened.
it was only 50 years ago, but
Yeah.
it has actually reached that point. Alan Shepard was his name, and he played golf on the moon, and here we are, all sort of celebrating that anniversary. And there's another Lo-Fi Zone episode in the same exact month. So what do you focus on more? Chap playing golf on the moon anniversary, Lo-Fi Zone episode 3, Lo-Fi Zone episode 3, chap playing golf on the moon anniversary. A strangely spine-tingling moment for the whole planet when, for a poignant space of time into the great public consciousness, there flickers a quite unforgettable vision. Those grainy yet luminous filmed images of mankind at perhaps its most attention-seeking and frankly unexplainable. But hey, enough about the Lo-Fi Zone and us making this episode. A man played golf on the moon 50 years ago. Perhaps the most perplexingly futile human act of self-indulgent whimsy since a man bothered to play golf on Earth. But hey, enough about us making this video cast 50 years ago since the Lunar Golfing Fellow. Thank you. That's your icebreaker for this episode. And please do take care of the perilous smashed ice everywhere, Tom.
I'll do my best. Maybe I'll play golf on it.
Oh, you. Welcome to Cover Version Corner. There'll be more of our stuff later. Don't say we didn't warn you. For now, let's hear someone else's song. Sung with love, though, we do hope you'll agree.
But wait, Luke, will it sound right or wrong?
Who knows, Tom? Let's see. And in this episode's Cover Version Corner, we are going to play you a blues song, which is kind of funny because the last song we played was a kind of blues. The more of a British kind of blues, but this is an actual American blues song, and I was obsessed with American blues music as a teenager, and so a lot of it means a lot to me still. This is more of a sort of modern sort of blues song, though. I was more into the older sort of 50s and earlier stuff, but a wonderful, more recent blues man wrote this, and he's called Keb Mo, and it's actually it's a cool sort of variant on his real name. I think he's called Kevin Moore, actually. But all these blues men have kind of cool names, don't they? And they kind of manage to make them sound cool. In fact, lots of blues men seem to have cool names that are sort of denotations of their anatomical properties. I don't know if you noticed that. Like they've either got to be something like Big Joe Williams or Little Milton or a Guitar Slim or something. You know, always trying to let us know their physical properties, sort of thing. You know, and yet interestingly, Dave the drummer was the one that pointed out to me that. There never seems to be any medium-sized bluesmen. You never get like a medium-sized Bert or something. It's either sort of Fats this or Little that. Little Willie John as well. That was a bit tough for Little Willie John, really. You know, I mean, obviously can't have been the most welcome nickname for him, really. But it helped him, express very soulful blues. Of course, you know, you would have the blues, wouldn't you, if your name was Little Willie, really? There's no medium-sized Bert or sort of average proportioned Fred or anything like that, is there? And this
Average Joe.
of course that
That'd be
would
good,
work, wouldn't it? That's I'd copyright that one. If maybe don't say it on online for everyone. Oh, hang on, don't spread that around. Tom might need that. But yeah, I mean, Dave the drummer thought of that at that point about the lack of medium-sized bluesmen names, and you wouldn't think, would you? Because there's quite a lot going on back there. It's just that he just doesn't let us know. He's quietly observing and thinking about these things. But anyway,
I still struggle to believe that he said something.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Well, yeah, he whispers in my ear. It's like, you remember Sooty? I can understand what he's saying anyway. Yeah, actually, Sooty's a bit of a because this goes out on the World Wide Web. I never know what the breadth of these references are. But you can look up Sooty and Sweep. In fact, was the chap who had Sooty and Sweep, was he amongst the very few of our TV childhood heroes who haven't since been revealed to be some kind of sex criminal or something? I think we're safe with Sooty and Sweep, aren't we? I mean, I don't think anything was ever said
outside of where he. What part of Sooty was putting his hand inside?
I don't think there's any legislation when it's a cloth person that you're that you're manhandling.
That needs to change.
Okay. Right. We were getting into a thicket here, I feel. Anyway, the point is, we've gone so far down the tangent track that I cannot remember where we parked the conversation car. We should have left the engine running, shouldn't we?
We were about to play some blues.
Oh, that's right. So the bluesman name thing, Kevin Moore. I think that was his real name. But to us, he's Kev Moore, and he's a wonderful bluesman and singer-songwriter of the blues, I guess. And this song has got a very touching sentiment. And hopefully it will give you some comfort in these disconnected times. It's called "You Can Love Yourself," and we'll play it for you now. My girlfriend left me a sad note. She didn't even phone. 5 words, that's all she wrote. See you later, I'm gone. No explanation for why she had to go. I can't take a joke, but I can take a hint. She doesn't love me anymore. But if nobody loves you, and you feel like dust on that empty shelf, just remember, you can love yourself. My mum told me she loved me, but she could just be saying that too. Everyone seems to find some fault in everything I do. I work as hard as I can, trying to please the boss. But just when I bought the house and the car, that's when he laid me off. But if nobody loves you, and you feel like dust on that empty shelf, just remember, you can love yourself. time I meet a lady, I try to get to know. Either I'm too tall, or she's too small, or she's rich and I'm poor. I called my old friend Hazel, finally asked her on a date. She said, I'm married now with 3 small kids, you're just a little too late. Well, if nobody loves you, and you feel like dust on that empty shelf, just remember, you can love yourself. You can love yourself. You can love yourself. It's just the little things in life that get to me. It's just the little things that no one else can see. It's just the little things that matter to me so. I can't get them out of my head now. I just can't let them go. So we refer to the Little Things log for the minutes of the last Little Things meeting, wherein we had, yes, I mean, the issue of leaving a gap just after you've said hi, it's whoever on the phone, and that's I'm glad we raised that because you were able to help me with that, of course, Tom.
Fixed it, didn't
with
we?
your suggestion. It hasn't completely gone without a hitch actually since then, because just to explain, last time you can refer back, but it was to do with what I want to say. Hello, it's Luke, and then leave a gap for them to say something on the phone, and then I carry on rather than just barreling straight in. But the gap can be awkward, so Tom suggested that I just say, hello, it's Luke, now you say something to the other person. I think it works a little bit better for you than it does for me, because people don't expect me to be quite that forthright. You know, I'm usually kind of painfully amiable. Painfully amiable, and so I mean, the first person I tried it with, my friend Nick, I said, "Hi, Nick, it's Luke. Now you say something," and he just went quiet and then just said, "Just who on earth do you think you are, Luke Smith?" You know, because I've been kind of forthright and bossy. So I mean, it partly depends who says it, doesn't it? I think, but I'm going to persevere with it, though, buddy. I haven't given up on it. You know, but. I think it's important to just we won't dwell too much on the last Little Things. But this week, part of what I want to speak about is quite tea-based, a very dearly held subject for me. But how come, in order to be called coffee, coffee has the taste of coffee, and yet tea seems to be allowed theoretically to taste of anything. You can have tea that tastes of strawberry or chamomile or mint,
or
and
tea.
yet, well, that's my preference, is for it to taste of tea. And yet coffee always has to taste of coffee, otherwise it doesn't get to be called coffee. But tea, it's as if, I mean, it's like, imagine if you
Peppermint
had
coffee.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't have that because it wouldn't be coffee anymore, would it? You know, what if well, for instance, say a rice pudding has to be like a rice made kind of puddingy. But I started trying to call any tart that had some fruit in it, just a strawberry tart, to see if that would fly, you know. And yet, no. I mean, a rice pudding has to be rice made puddingy, and a strawberry tart has to be a strawberry tart, doesn't it? And you can't just have say it's a strawberry tart and it's actually got plums in it or something, you know.
Right.
Then it would be a plum tart, wouldn't it? But no, tea is still just allowed to be tea with just other stuff, you know.
Yeah, you can have peppermint tea.
Yeah, that's right.
Why isn't it called coffee tea?
Yes, exactly. It might as well be. That's a very succinctly made point, a lot better than I made it, actually.
Beans. Anything you put beans in is coffee.
Having said that, I have got a theory about this, which is that, you know how herbal tea and fruit tea, all these other sort of teas that seem to be allowed to be called tea that don't taste of tea, I think the reason that the great god of names let this one pass, you know, is because herbal teas and fruit teas don't really taste of anything anyway. They promise so much with their aroma, don't they?
Yeah.
But the aroma is a misnomer, as we know, because they taste of water, basically, don't they? They smell a certain sort of way, and you think, ooh, and then no, they just taste watery. There's no such thing as a herbal tea which is anything other than just fine. They're never wonderful and they're never disgusting. They're just fine, aren't they? If anyone has actually experienced a herbal tea which is anything other than just fine, please do let us know. But so I think maybe that's why they're allowed
provide proof.
Yeah, so we would appreciate that. Although, imagine having to go through the evidence, because it's just loads of watery tasting hot beverages, you know. But I think that's why they're allowed to be called tea, because, you know, just like, you know, why bother giving a name to something that doesn't really taste of anything anyway, you know?
Yeah.
Maybe so the god of tea just went, I'll just have that name because no one's going to care. It's not really encroaching on tea itself, is it?
Yeah, I suppose.
I don't know.
I mean, it would be interesting to find out how actual tea feels about this.
I would very much like it if you could canvass its opinion on that, but I'll leave that one with you. Can I just move ever so slightly laterally, just slightly sideways, just over here to the world of biscuits? Because I think we can make that leap. I'll just go like that. Now we're in the biscuit, part of the. So just for so people know it's a slightly different moment. Biscuits. It relates to air. How when you leave your biscuits out and you haven't got them in a tin or anything, they go soft in air, don't they? Like if you let the air get to them, they kind of go soft after a while, don't they?
Which is not what you want.
Not what you want. You want a nice crisp crunch from your biscuit. And so you'd think, okay, I get it now. I get how air works because it makes my biscuits that I want crunchy. It makes them soft. Okay, air makes things soft.
So keep them in a tin.
You'd think, but get this, bread. We like bread to be soft, and yet if you leave it out in air, does air make the soft bread soft? No, it makes the soft bread hard. So whatever you don't want your lovely food matter to be, air comes along and makes it that thing. If you're not careful,
Putting the air in contrary.
Oh my goodness.
That.
Oh no, that's turned itself off.
Yeah,
I had to play that chord for that. That's beautiful, man. Yeah, it does. It's contrary air.
That's
air
why.
But another small point about tea is this. Okay, get this. Have you met these people? Right, so I'm making you a cup of tea, and then I'm just okay, put the milk in. Yeah, I go, do you want sugar? And then if you say yes, I'd like sugar, I'll do what some people do when they put the sugar in, and then I'll hand it to you. Do you want sugar, mate? Oh, because it's the kind of person I'm talking about would say, mate, right? Do you want sugar, mate?
Yeah, just one, please.
There you go. Did you see how I stirred that? He does this. He or she, but
usually it's usually a he.
I think it might be. I have had it done to me by ladies. If you can call them that. These the half-hearted tea stirrers. This thing. Right, here it goes.
Because what's going to happen there?
I mean, come on. Yeah, it's just going to go. It's not going to swell round and inform your flavour of your tea, is it?
The last sip is going to be crunchy.
You know it. I mean, I don't really care who you are, how you were raised, what your spiritual beliefs might be. Everybody must know that that's not stirring tea properly. That can't be a cultural thing or a gender thing or a anything thing, can it? Do something with purpose, for goodness sake. You know what I mean? Make it count. If you're going to stir tea. I mean, Am I just being a dick, buddy, or does that actually?
When there are people like that in the world,
yeah, maybe.
I don't think you need to worry, mate.
Thanks, thank you. It's just the little things to which my world belongs, the same old little things that make me sing these songs. It's just the little things that make me lose my cool, that keep my heart in thrall. They're with me through it all, so vital yet so small, and round my mind's a blinding fog, and round my eyes are big dark rings, 'cause I'm up so late and I can't think straight, and it's all about the little things. Other people's secrets I keep well, but to keep my own, that's just hell. I get such an urge to vent and to purge that something surges through me and I just know I've got to give 'em the lot in one go. I don't tease them, I don't ease them in. I'm not subtle and I've never been. I'm clumsy and brash, impulsive and rash. I don't tread with care or start slow. No, I give 'em the lot in one go. So open I can't shut the door, so I never leave them wanting more. That's me to a T, but how else can I be? I can't relax until it's all on show, so I give 'em the lot in one go. Makes me do this? What drives me to this? A quest for trueness, or simply nerves? The words cascade out till my heart's laid out, and then I'm played out with no reserves. And then that's it. You can't unsay things. When you display things like I do, you can't turn back. Oh, when most people speak, they leave a bit of mystique, but with me there's no code left to crack, 'cause there's no end to what I'll share outright. What I'll thrust into the broad daylight, to see how it fares, to find out who cares. And there's just no way then to stem this flow. I just can't eke it out, or let them seek it out. I'm fit to burst from every first hello. The rest is history, I've got no mystery. I just give 'em the lot in one go. Thanks so much, it's been a kick, but now the clock begins to tick. Where does time go though, once it's gone? That's very deep, Luke. Thank you, Tom. We're sorry to strike the blow, but now we must go. If you didn't like the show, please never let us know. Farewell for now, we'll leave you alone, but thanks for entering the Lo-Fi Zone. Thank you for joining us, and we really hope you will next time as well. Don't forget to subscribe is the thing, isn't it? Okay, chaps, preparing to actually exit the Lo-Fi Zone. So make sure we've thought of everything. Tom, I hope you haven't forgotten to pack your lucky grape. And please prepare, chaps, for a feeling of rumminess as we approach countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So we refer to the Little Things log for the minutes of the last episode's Little Things meeting. We had the, of course, the issue of how. Okay, I'm going to do it once more because I didn't want quite such a faltering start. It's the phone gap thing. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. Once again. So we refer to the little things. Sorry, how much? Just oh, sorry. So we refer to the little things log for the meeting. Okay, shit it. I just can't remember how to speak. I mean, it is the little things sometimes, isn't it?
It's the low five zone.